Why, hello there. I see you caught to me at my humble abode. Step inside, won't you, and I'll tell you a tale about a girl I know who procrastinated on a lot of stuff for 2 weeks in order to play a game where you go and do a lot of stuff. Vicious cycle, isn't it? And now this friend, who will look a lot like myself, as an apology for getting off track, gave me a script in order to review the Animal Crossing movie, aka, or better known in the boonies as Stuff Happens, the movie. Ah, spring. Just look at this atmosphere. The fog is thick, the landscape gray, and why the hell are we going down a deep dark tunnel? Okay, pause. Is anyone else not going to address how we go from super noir vibes to a sunny side seascape from some super mysterious super tunnel? No! Just no! Well then, get your conspiracy theories out now, people, because it's time to write some fan fiction about all this hoopla in purgatory. Are we past a minute in the video yet? Because Mom's spaghetti must have been poisoned. The bitch. In the meantime, our villager I finally makes it to the creatively named Animal Village to check in, greet the locals, and fuck you, Tom Nook. Fuck you. I just got here and you're making her work on your time? In New Horizons, you have to build everything from the ground up, fund everything from the ground up. The bridges cost what now? But here you are, just going to make I the delivery girl with the pretense that it allows her to meet everyone. Yeah, we all know what you're really after. I'll see you at the lake for a throwdown later, you Five Below sleazeball. After she leaves the furry capitalist, I goes around interacting with the characters left and right for about 20 minutes until we actually get some semblance of plot. Which brings me to my main issue with this movie. The movie is too fast-paced for such little plot. Or should I say, it condenses so many references, smaller events, and character interactions that I was worried I was watching a 4-episode OVA series that got sandwiched into a movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, it does shamble itself into something structured if you're watching this movie with knowledge of the games. And I can tell that it is indeed made with that demographic in mind. The movie takes place across all 4 seasons, and that best outlines the plot's direction, beginning the movie in the spring where I meets the locals, with the climax happening in the winter where all the little moments finally pay off. However, the cost of all of this can be chalked up to the phrase, and then I makes it home to finally move in only for her boy villager counterpart to swat her in the face. And then a montage happens. And then she wrecks Apollo's flowers so the movie can give her an arbitrary reason to visit all the more iconic characters and places. And then I spent all night hunting that tarantula bastard for yeeting me into next Tuesday. Oh, when I find you, yahoo! You see my issue here? Look, I get it. You got to show all the fun and exciting locales from the Animal Crossing lore, and it's not like Animal Crossing was ever a plot-heavy franchise to begin with. At its core, it's a slice-of-life simulation game where you just live life, and the movie did depict just that. And yet, I still feel like it took a little too long to get the ball rolling for the sake of a movie. It's only after I and Sally's cherry pie talk when the movie feels like it actually started. On the other hand, 1 minute you and the gang are looking for fossils in the heat of summer, and then randomly we see the mayor facing down with a dead-eyed seal. They're probably a reference to an older game, but I was too lazy to look it up, so there. Okay, I looked it up. His name is Pascal, he's from Wild World, and he's an otter who is known for being a philosophical nomad who spent his day traveling the 7 seas, talking to strangers and eating scallops, and apparently was in charge of giving rare, exclusive items to the player.
Pretty, pretty, shiny, shiny, pretty, pretty, shiny, shiny.
The whole point in all of this was that the sudden jump cuts, like in Pascal's scene, makes it feel all the more pushed together. Thematics aside, I think it's now a good time to say that I did enjoy the movie for what it was, despite all my fussing about its structure. Cause no matter what, the movie was cute as shit. Maybe it's the added help of the actual Animal Crossing soundtrack, or that I got to see my boy KK rocking it in the summer. But the wholesome factors are just through the roofs. Once the movie does invest itself in the Sally XI friendship, the movie becomes a basic message of finding a dream, your cherry pie, in fact, and chasing it. Well, kind of, because I herself roughly gets the idea for this dream later on from finding mysterious message bottles on the beach giving her cryptic instructions. And let me tell you, you never know where those messages might lead you. It might lead you to a recipe where fishing a sea bass for the 100th fucking time, which is appropriate for the ocean because I'm super salty right now. Character-wise, there were only a few standout animals that felt more than just their game counterparts in movie form. Bianca, Sally, Bouquet, Blathers, and Celeste, who all had more than enough time on screen to be memorable. Oh my god, a spider! Get it off, get it off, get it off, get it off, get it off. Ahem. Bianca especially, who stole the show on a couple of occasions, with her semi-romantic subplot with Apollo and how it utilized the coffee bar to the best of their references. Sally, Ai's best friend, I thought was good for her role as the aspiring fashion designer who would in part motivate Ai to find her passion. She's a sweet, strong elephant that I would love to have in my town. She's still no Nana the monkey though. But I think award for most surprising performance goes to Celeste for being so alive. You don't get much background about her in the games except for her being Blathers' sister, so seeing Celeste be who she is by far shows why this movie was worth being made. As for the villager characters Ai and Yu, they were just there when you really think about it. Yes, Ai is the main protagonist, but never could I grasp any lasting personality besides girl. Yu, the boy villager, is more personified than just boy, but being an annoying little dipshit for most of the movie doesn't amount to much. He and the alligator were relegated to comic relief until like the climax in winter, and by that point I didn't care enough for him to say, hey, good job, you saved the day. The animation was notable for the obvious scenes with CG. I didn't find them too distracting considering this was made in like 2006. Though the scene from the museum is a great template for the funnies. Speaking of 2006, this was made by Ulm Inc. You know, the people who make most of our kid anime childhoods. And Berserk! We're talking Pokemon, Future Card Buddy Fights, Beyblade Burst, Yokai Watch, random ass Steel Angel Kurumi, which shouldn't be here for shows of my childhood, but the internet ecchi at the time was a mysterious mistress. And of course, Del Toro Quest. Wait, hold on, let's pause again. Anyone else remember Del Toro Quest back in the day? I would always see it randomly on the Sci-Fi Channel as a kid. I almost thought it was a Westame, a cartoon with an anime art style. Ah, those were the times. Makes me want to review just West anime for a month. Hint, hint. Post in the comments below if you like the idea. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, it took me 30 minutes to realize there's no Isabelle in the movie. As a card-carrying member for the Isabelle Worship Society, my weeb senses were a-tingling. Until I found out Isabelle wasn't in the franchise until fucking New Leaf. Makes you realize how bonkers it is for a character like her to feel so lived in despite being new. But obviously this movie will lose 13 cherry points for not having one of my favorite waifus, even though it's clearly not the movie's fault because I'm a crusty reviewer like that who sometimes pretends to be fair when I'm really just biased as fuck. Am I wasting your time yet? No? Then look here at animals doing yoga. Ah, so tranquil. So kosher? Animal Crossing, promoting good health choices since 2001. Is the Animal Crossing movie one big advertisement for the game? Yes, it is. What was your first clue, bub? But thankfully, it's a cute, enjoyable romp that I don't find much harm in. Like the franchise it's based on, you make stuff happen, and those happening stuffs grace you with the little wonders of awe that could, in the best effect, allow you to forget about the rest of the world. No pain, no insane, just bite-sized gains to get you ever closer to that sweet, sweet cherry pie. Unless you're playing New Horizons where you have a bunch of cherry trees and no recipe to make that pie. What's this injustice movie? Everything you told me was a lie. A lie, I say. Hi. For anyone who cares, I'm okay in this new crisis we call the Corin Crisis. That is the name I'm sticking with because YouTube's being a butt about it. So I'm using this time when I'm not deep into Animal Crossing to make scripts in bulk as we come to the spring anime season. Oh, and yes, I've noticed that I've been reviewing nothing but movies, just by coincidence. But unless another anime opportunity gets me interested, I'll be moving on from movies to doing actual videos based on request. I promise this time. In the meantime, subscribe to the channel, of course, a place where stuff also happens. Hopefully it's the stuff you'll come to love. You can follow me on my Twitter or Discord, as those two are the two platforms I'm most active on, and try out my Twitch, where I'm probably going to change the schedule for the umpteenth time because my body refuses to stay awake when I want it to. But seriously, I'll have a schedule in this Corin Cripus time, so keep a lookout on that. Oh, and if you haven't clicked off the video yet, the word of the day is porridge. As in, oh, this poor little orange. He didn't pay off his alimony when he divorced Miss Apple from down the lane, and now he's stuck in child support. It's the best I got. Shannen, ow!